A lot of cool stuff to share today for all you gunpla fans, but first I want to talk about this exciting gunpla competition that comes from the courtesy of the Hobby Store Malaysia. So they're actually running a 2 weeks plumber competition, gunpla competition to be exact, for the next 2 weeks, and it ends on 31st March. All you need to do is share your WIP, share your build, but you must remember to include the hashtag of stay home to build and your own unique hashtag for your tag as well. So throughout the next 2 weeks, you are encouraged to share all your WIPs, whether it is through a picture or video. I will put in the link to this competition post in the description down below, so you please follow the Hobby Store Malaysia. And interestingly as well, they actually have a very clear selection criteria based on your photography skill, posing and presentation, creativity, and of course in terms of effort and the amount of social media presence that you have to promote your build for the competition. And I think it's all worth it because the grand prize is none other than the latest master grade full armor double Z version car. So this kit is quite expensive. It's about 400 plus ringgit, about 100 over US dollars over here. So quite a little fun competition, so join in and have some fun, and at the same time look at other people's build. Okay, so now let's get back to the cool stuff that we want to talk about today, and that is of course the new metal build Gundam Freedom. They are calling it Concept 2, which is quite unique. I'm not sure whether they call it version 2.0, but they call it Concept 2 for some reason. So I guess for those of you who are sick of seeing Gundam seat mobile suit, you can probably skip this part. But I do have a comparison of side by side between the old metal build Gundam Freedom with this new Concept 2. So if you look at them side by side, the one on the right is the old version and the one on the left is a new Concept version 2. Obviously, in terms of Concept 2, the tone of the colors has changed, so they are a lot darker and deeper as well, especially the blue. And of course, in terms of the skirting, the way they make the knee joint, the armor, the die-cast parts as well, and of course in terms of details and proportions, this definitely look a lot better compared to version 1.0. And if the previous few metal build kits are anything to go by, I am sure that this kit will sell out like hotcakes just before even the kit hits the store. It will definitely sell out during the pre-order. So for those of you who are keen to get this kit, I think you should definitely pre-order now. Now let's talk about this kit that is coming out and is pretty much sold out in most of the stores over here in Malaysia. And this is of course the Gundam Marchosias. Well, when I first saw the kit last year, I straight away fell in love with the overall design. But ta-da! Someone from Japan by the name of Taka33, Shira33, he has actually gave it a char color treatment. And I have to say, putting it side by side, the char color treatment definitely looks a lot better. The Gundam Marchosias design language definitely looks very cool, the lines, the details, the proportion as well, but it does look a little bit bland because it's a very simple white, red and yellow. Given that this customized paint job by Taka33 and Shira33, I have to say suddenly the kit looks a lot more appealing too. So for those of you who actually bought the kit but have not built it and not even painted it, maybe this is a new inspiration for you. Maybe you can try out this color scheme. I am quite keen to get this kit, but unfortunately most of the stores that I've tried to reach out to have all sold out. So let me know if you guys are able to get a hands on this kit as well. I'm just quite surprised that a lot of the shops are not able to stock up enough to meet the demand. So it's been quite a while since I see a kit that is in such hot demand, and the last kit that was in such hot demand is of course the Master Grade Gundam Barbatos. I think still some stores are struggling to stock up on that particular kit as well. Now talking about the Barbatos, I'm sure a lot of you are sick of talking about Barbatos, but this next build comes from Mr. Haozeng. I hope I got his name correct. So he has actually decided to build his Barbatos with the Evangelion color scheme, and I thought this was quite cool and quite unique. And for those of you with a sharp eagle eye, you will probably realize that, hey, this is actually not the master grade, and you're right. This is just a normal vanilla high grade 1/100 scale Barbatos, given a very nice paint job with the Evangelion colors. If you ask me, I think that come GBWC this year, there will probably be a lot of Barbatos with Evangelion colors entries around the world. But then again, given the whole COVID-19 situation, I'm also wondering if the show will go on, given that so many countries are now shutting schools, shutting down the mall, shutting down public gatherings and even events. So I'm also quite worried what's going to happen to GBWC this year. What do you guys think? Do you think that the show will continue? I think obviously most of the shows in Europe will probably have an issue right now. Southeast Asia seems to be still a little bit better contained, but seems like the cases are spiking up, unfortunately. So I know I'm rambling on a little bit, but I think it affects all of us, because I think most of us right now are being forced to work from home for the next 2 to 3 weeks due to COVID-19. And I think it's important that we continue to do our studies or our work from home, but at the same time try to find the available time to keep our minds occupied by building Gunpla, and also of course subscribing and watching Awesome Toys TV. So I will try to keep you guys entertained and produce a lot more videos in the next couple of weeks if I can, given that I'm also working from home for the next couple of weeks due to the government restriction of movement over here in Malaysia. So we're not able to travel overseas or even go to work, so that is the unfortunate part. Alright, so this is from Housing, very cool Barbatos Evangelion colors build. Now I'm gonna jump back into the Marchosias a little bit, and this is again from one of my favorite builder, for Reiner. So he has actually built the Marchosias a couple of weeks back, but he decided not to actually put the backpack the way it was intended to, and of course he has given his signature color treatment of dark gray and blue, and also a bit of silver color treatment on his Marchosias. And again, he has added in a little bit of details here and there, which I would really need to spend time to actually deep dive into his build. His build is always very cool. It is always the same signature color of black, dark gray, gunmetal plus blue. So I do hope to see more Gunpla build in GBWC with this kind of color scheme, hopefully maybe in next year, 2021. So let's see how that goes. But again, I am truly wondering how many of you have actually bought this kit but have yet to build it. So given that everybody's working from home, hey, this is now the best time to actually build Gunpla and study or work from home at the same time. So before you go, I have actually one last big piece of news that I think everybody is talking about right now. So this is basically the 1/72 scale Sazabi. If you ask me, is this really going to come out? Well, I seriously don't know. Looking at the pictures, it does look like a 3D printed model, but people do seem that this is going to be a third-party 1/72 scale Sazabi, and of course it's a huge kit, and I can't imagine what this kit is going to cost at this scale and size. So it'll be interesting to see if the third party actually make this, and if they do, I will assume that the quantity will be very limited, because not everybody's going to fork out that amount of cash for a 1/72 scale Sazabi. And finally, we have the Premium Bandai Gun Easy Ground Type Bluebird colors. This is the same kit that's been released with just a different color variation and some decals. If you ask me, I think pretty much this is the only kit so far I've seen that's coming out in July, and I'm actually quite surprised that Bandai has yet to release more information of what kits are coming out post July. I am wondering if this has anything to do with COVID-19, given how there's so much uncertainty right now with even the Olympics 2020. Everyone is wondering whether that's going to happen. I think they are still very gung-ho that they should proceed, because all the investment have already been invested into the show, into the venue, into the infrastructure as well. But from Bandai's point of view, yeah, it is kind of strange that they have kind of slowed down in terms of all the new kit announcement at this time of the year. Usually this time we will get to see quite a lot of upcoming pending Q3/Q4 announcement or teaser. So let's see, right? I would love to hear from you guys if you think that the COVID-19 is going to impact the production coming out from Bandai, especially for gunpla kits. I mean, obviously, even though they can be aggressive and still churn out new kits here and there is that worry about the softer economic climate, right? Because a lot of people are going to be out of jobs, or they're going to see a smaller paycheck. And even those working from home, I think the first thing they're going to worry about is, hey, do I want to spend my hard-earned salary on gunpla, or should I worry about the bread and butter? So it will be interesting to see what's going to happen in the next few weeks. I hope Bandai continue to push on and continue with their aggressive release schedule, given that this year is the 40th anniversary of the gunpla franchise. Anyways, let's see how things goes, right? Before I go off, I do want to hear from you guys. How many of you are actually stuck working or studying from home due to COVID-19? And again, just a big shout out to the Hobby Store for running such a cool online plumber competition. I do hope that you guys participate, because let's be frank, right, the grand prize is quite interesting. So I'll share the links down below. Do check out the contest requirements, the contest selection criteria, and everything else. So join in and have fun. Don't worry about the price. Just go in and have fun and meet fellow plumber builders, and also learn some tips and tricks as well. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe if you're new to our channel. Happy building up, guys.